Hello and welcome to my podcast. Here are some of my favorite stories that my granddad told me while I interviewed him about his life when he lived on a farm. These two stories are about when he lived in Oklahoma and where he currently lives in Washington.
When you just needed to go somewhere, you either walked or rode a horse or drove a wagon. If we were going to town, our moms, now understand this was in the summertime, so it was always warm. We'd wear pants, and that's all. Even the little girls. Anyway, this was summertime, and so we were accustomed to wearing, being barefooted and maybe wearing a t-shirt. But to go to town, our moms would always wear nice clothes and put on makeup, and they would make sure the kids wore shoes and had a shirt on and clean pants. Well, in the times when our moms didn't go to town, and I don't know why, maybe they stayed to cook lunch or something, we'd have to wear shoes and a shirt to get in to leave, because our moms wouldn't let us get in the wagon without shoes. And then as we were going to town, we'd very quietly take off our shoes, and we'd sometimes take off our shirt, and we'd be running around town barefooted with no shirt, which we thought was just fine, but it always happens. Somebody in town, and a day or two later, they would tell one of our mothers, and then she would tell all the other mothers, "Oh, I saw your boy in town, and he was barefooted." Oh. So then we get a really serious talking to. "I'm not going to let you go to town if you don't wear your shoes." But then we always got to go to town anyway. Oh yeah, there was a bicycle. Dad found a bicycle for me, an old one, and fixed it up so I could ride it. And I must have ridden it around for a couple of years, and then one day there was a shaft in the frame of the bicycle that the seat bolted to, and that shaft broke, and the seat wouldn't, there was nothing to fasten the seat to, so I can't remember why, but Mom and Dad were gone. They had gone to town, and they were Dad and Dell and some of the other neighbors they were building silage wagons in the old shop, and they had welders and all kinds of equipment out there to make silage wagons, and I had welded a little bit, but not always with supervision, and I had this broken shaft on my bicycle, and bicycle didn't have a kickstand. It just leaned up against whatever you were stopping by. And so it was leaning up against the side of the shed. The shed was covered with corrugated metal, with like a tin shed. And so I thought I would weld these two broken pieces. One piece was still in the bicycle, and the other piece was in my hand. And so I clamped them together and welded the shaft together so I could put the seat back on, and I got it all welded, and it looked pretty good. And so I coiled up the cables off the welder and put everything away, and went over to pull my bicycle away from the shed, and the bicycle had arced into the siding, the metal siding of the shed. I had welded my bicycle to the shed. I was standing there looking at it, trying to pull it away from the shed, and about that time, Dad and Mom drove in the driveway. And they saw me and waved, He got I got out of the car, and Mom went in the house, and Dad came over, and he said, "Well, it looks like you fixed your bicycle." Oh, shoot. And he helped me get it off of the shed, get it unwelded from the shed. But of course, every place the bicycle was welded to the shed left a little hole in the siding. And that hole was there for years, all of those holes. And that was always a joke about me welding my bicycle to the shed.